The wilderness is as thrilling as it is unforgiving, and few encounters evoke the raw intensity of meeting a grizzly bear. Towering over 8 feet tall and weighing up to 800 pounds, grizzlies are awe-inspiring yet formidable creatures. And knowing how to navigate these moments is crucial for survival. If you're captivated by the power and mystique of grizzlies, subscribe to our channel for gripping tales, survival tips, and expert insights into these apex predators. Claire Rousseau was a woman who seemed destined to thrive among the grandeur of the natural world. Born on September 14, 1997, in Bozeman, Hana, her life was deeply intertwined with the rugged landscapes of the Rocky Mountains. From a young age, Claire's parents, David and Michelle Rousseau, instilled in her a love for nature and an appreciation for the wilderness. They frequently took her and her siblings on hiking and camping trips, teaching them to navigate trails, identify plants, and respect the powerful wildlife that also called Montana home. These early experiences shaped Claire's outlook on life. Her fascination with the natural world deepened over time, leading her to pursue a degree in environmental science at Montana State University. Known for her infectious enthusiasm and curiosity, Claire dedicated herself to understanding the delicate interplay of ecosystems. She saw the wilderness not as a place of danger, but as a sanctuary, a source of inspiration, and a home to be cherished and protected. In her late 20s, Claire had become a well-known figure in her community. Her social media posts showcased her adventures in the wild, where she documented hikes, wildlife sightings, and her favorite pastime, foraging for wild mushrooms. With a radiant smile and an encouraging spirit, she inspired others to explore nature and practice sustainable habits. However, the same wilderness that Claire loved so dearly would one day claim her life in an event that left her family, friends, and community heartbroken. On August 15, 2024, while foraging alone in the Gallatin National Forest, Claire encountered a grizzly bear. Despite her preparedness and experience, the encounter turned fatal, marking the tragic end of a promising life. Claire's childhood was one filled with wonder and exploration. Growing up in Bozeman, Montana, a gateway to Yellowstone National Park and surrounded by pristine forests, she was always close to nature. Her father, a schoolteacher with a passion for birdwatching, and her mother, a nurse who loved gardening, nurtured her respect for the environment. As a child, Claire was naturally inquisitive and unafraid of dirt under her fingernails. She delighted in studying the insects she found in the backyard, sketching plants she couldn't yet name, and pressing leaves into the pages of her many notebooks. Her siblings often joked that Claire seemed more comfortable in hiking boots than in the sneakers most kids preferred. When Claire turned 14, her parents gifted her a guidebook to the plants and fungi of the Northern Rockies. So this sparked a lifelong passion for foraging. By the time she entered high school, she was leading her family on weekend expeditions, proudly identifying edible plants and warning them away from the poisonous ones. So her love for nature wasn't limited to her personal adventures. In high school, Claire started a sustainability club and organized cleanup drives along local trails. By the time she graduated and enrolled at Montana State University, she was well on her way to becoming a dedicated advocate for the environment. Among Claire's many hobbies, mushroom foraging stood out as her favorite. To her, it combined the thrill of a treasure hunt with the satisfaction of harvesting food directly from the earth. Claire was particularly drawn to chanterelles and morels, two varieties prized for their flavor and rarity. Her trips often ended with a celebratory meal prepared using the day's finds meals she shared with friends and family. For Claire, foraging was more than just a hobby. It was a way of connecting with the land. She was meticulous about following ethical foraging practices, never over-harvesting and always leaving enough behind to ensure the ecosystem's health. Her Instagram page, which had garnered over 10,000 followers, was filled with photographs of sunlit forests, baskets brimming with fungi, and the recipes she crafted from her finds. By 2024, Claire had begun to host small workshops to teach others the art of foraging. She emphasized safety, ecological balance, and respect for the wilderness. Her approachable demeanor and vast knowledge made her a beloved teacher and mentor. On the morning of August 15th, 2024, Claire awoke with plans for a solo foraging trip to the Golati National Forest. The area was a favorite spot of hers, known for its dense woodlands and the abundance of golden chanterelle she had discovered there the previous week. The weather was ideal, warm and sunny, with a gentle breeze, and Claire was eager to spend the day surrounded by nature. She packed her foraging basket, a small knife, a water bottle, a first aid kit, and bear spray. Always cautious, she followed the standard advice for solo excursions in bear country, informing her friend Emily Carter of her plans and the time she expected to return. Claire reached the forest around 9:30 a.m. and began her trek along a familiar trail. Around 10 a.m. she texted Emily, "It's gorgeous out here. I'll be home by 2 at the latest." Claire was last seen alive around noon by a fellow hiker, Jack Hensley, who later described her as cheerful and friendly, carrying a half-full basket of mushrooms. But unbeknownst to Claire, the region had seen increased grizzly bear activity that summer. A combination of poor weather and reduced natural food sources had driven bears closer to human trails. Wildlife officials had issued warnings, but Claire, who was typically vigilant, may not have been aware of the latest updates. The details of what happened next can only be pieced together through evidence found at the scene. Claire had ventured into a dense thicket, likely searching for more mushrooms, when she encountered a grizzly bear. The bear, an adult male weighing over 700 pounds, had been foraging for food himself. Grizzly bears are powerful predators and highly territorial. While they typically avoid humans, encounters can turn deadly if the bear feels threatened or surprised. It is believed that Claire accidentally entered the bear's territory, startling him. The attack was swift and brutal. Claw marks on nearby trees and disturbed soil suggest Claire tried to defend herself, but the bear's size and strength were overwhelming. A bit of bear spray was found nearby, unused, indicating she may not have had time to deploy it. And when Claire failed to return home by a promised time, Emily became concerned and contacted authorities. A search team was assembled that evening, including park rangers, volunteers, and wildlife officials. Using GPS data from Claire's phone, they focused on the area where she was last known to be. At dawn the following day, August 16th, searchers discovered Claire's body. So the scene was harrowing, with clear signs of a bear attack. Her passing marked one of the rare but tragic instances of a fatal bear encounter in Montana. News of Claire's death spread quickly, leaving her family, friends, and community in shock. Tributes poured in from all corners of the country as people who had been touched by her kindness, knowledge, and enthusiasm shared their memories. On August 22nd, a memorial service was held in Bozeman. Hundreds of attendees gathered to celebrate Claire's life, sharing stories of her adventurous spirit and unwavering dedication to conservation. To one speaker, a close friend and fellow environmentalist, remarked, "Claire taught us not just how to appreciate nature, but how to live as part of it. She was the most alive in the wild, and that's how we'll remember her." In the wake of the tragedy, Montana Fish, Wildlife Parks, FUP, tracked and euthanized the bear responsible for the attack. So while the decision was made to protect public safety, it sparked debates about human encroachment into wildlife habitats and the ethics of managing predator populations, preventing future tragedies. Claire's death serves as a somber reminder of the dangers inherent in exploring wilderness areas. While her experience and preparation were commendable, her story highlights critical lessons for outdoor enthusiasts. 1. Stay informed. Always check recent wildlife activity and advisories before heading into bear country. Seasonal changes, food scarcity, and environmental conditions can influence animal behavior. 2. Travel in groups. Solitary activities like hiking or foraging increase vulnerability to wildlife encounters. Groups are less likely to surprise a bear and more capable of responding to emergencies. 3. Make noise. Alerting bears to your presence can prevent surprise encounters. Carry a bear bell, talk loudly, or clap your hands periodically while on the trail. Claire Rosseau's life was one of purpose, passion, and love for the natural world. Her untimely death was a devastating loss, but her legacy continues to inspire those who knew her and those who learn her story. As we honor her memory, let us carry forward the lessons her life and death have taught us. Let her story remind us of the need to respect the power of nature, to prepare thoroughly, and to act responsibly when venturing into the wild. Through her dedication to conservation, Claire sought to preserve the beauty of the wilderness for future generations. May her legacy serve as a guide for all who seek to connect with nature, ensuring that such tragedies can be prevented and that the wilderness remains a place of wonder, peace, and balance. Emily Harper was a 24-year-old with a heart as big as the Montana sky she grew up under. Born on March 15, 2000, in Kalispell, Montana, she spent her life immersed in the natural beauty of the Northern Rockies. Her parents, Robert and Sarah Harper, raised her with a deep respect for the outdoors, encouraging her to explore the forests, rivers, and mountains that surrounded their family home. Emily's love for nature was evident in everything she did. An avid angler, hiker, and wildlife enthusiast, she was often found casting her fishing line into crystal-clear streams or wandering trails with a camera in hand. Her social media posts reflected her passion, filled with breathtaking shots of Montana's landscapes and her infectious smile. On July 9, 2024, Emily set out on a solo fishing trip to a remote stretch of the Flathead River. It was a place she had visited many times before, one where she found peace and solitude. But what began as a serene day in the wilderness ended in unimaginable tragedy when she encountered a grizzly bear. Despite her knowledge and preparedness, the encounter proved fatal, leaving her family, friends, and community devastated. This essay tells Emily's story, examines the circumstances surrounding her death, and explores the lessons we can learn from this heartbreaking event. Emily Harper's love for the outdoors was cultivated from an early age. Growing up in Kalispell, she was surrounded by some of the most stunning natural landscapes in the United States. Glacier National Park was practically in her backyard, and the Flathead River was a short drive from her home. Her father, Robert, was a fishing guide who taught Emily to cast her first line when she was just 5 years old. She quickly fell in love with the sport, finding joy not just in catching fish but in the tranquility of the water and the rhythm of the cast. So by the time she was a teenager, Emily could outfish most of her father's clients. Her mother, Sarah, was a biology teacher who nurtured Emily's curiosity about the natural world. Sarah often took her daughter on nature walks, teaching her to identify plants and animals. Emily absorbed this knowledge eagerly, developing a deep respect for the ecosystems around her. Emily's education further solidified her connection to the environment. After graduating from Flathead High School, she pursued a degree in environmental studies at the University of Montana. She hoped to work in wildlife conservation, blending her love for nature with a desire to protect it for future generations. Fishing was more than a hobby for Emily, it was a way of life. She found joy in every aspect of it, from researching the best fishing spots to tying her own flies. Her favorite places to fish were Montana's remote rivers and streams, where she could escape the noise of everyday life and immerse herself in the wilderness. And Emily often shared her fishing adventures on social media, where her posts garnered a growing following. Her followers admired her skill, her enthusiasm, and her ability to make even the most challenging trips look effortless. She was particularly passionate about catch and release fishing, advocating for sustainable practices that ensured the health of fish populations. By 2024, Emily had become a respected figure in Montana's fishing community. She participated in local fishing tournaments, mentored young anglers, and even contributed articles to outdoor magazines. Her expertise and approachable personality made her a beloved presence both on and off the water. The morning of July 9, 2024, was warm and clear, with the promise of a perfect day for fishing. Emily had planned a trip to a secluded section of the Flathead River, a place she had fished many times before. It was known for its abundance of trout and its breathtaking scenery, a hidden gem that few people knew about. Emily packed her gear carefully, a fly rod, a tackle box, waders, and bear spray. She also brought a small cooler with lunch and plenty of water. Always cautious, she let her parents know where she was going and what time she expected to return. So by mid-morning, Emily had reached her destination and waded into the river. She spent hours casting her line, enjoying the solitude and the sounds of nature. Around noon, she texted her best friend, Tate Miller, to share a photo of a beautiful rainbow trout she had just caught. "I wish you were here," she wrote. At some point in the early afternoon, Emily decided to move to a new spot farther downstream. The area was more isolated, with dense vegetation along the riverbank. As she navigated through the brush, she unknowingly came close to a grizzly bear. The bear, a large adult male estimated to weigh around 800 pounds, had likely been feeding in the area. Bears are highly territorial and can become aggressive if they feel threatened, especially when surprised. If evidence at the scene suggests that Emily may have startled the bear as she moved through the undergrowth. In such situations, grizzlies often charge as a defensive response. Despite carrying bear spray, Emily may not have had time to use it. The bear attacked swiftly, inflicting fatal injuries before retreating. When Emily failed to return home that evening, her parents became worried and contacted local authorities. A search and rescue team was quickly assembled, including park rangers, volunteers, and a canine unit. Using GPS data from Emily's phone, the searchers located her car near the trailhead and followed her probable path along the river. They discovered her fishing gear and other belongings scattered near the site of the attack. Tragically, her body was found shortly after. The news of Emily's death sent shockwaves through her community and beyond. Kalispell, a town where nearly everyone knew each other, was united in grief. Vigils were held in her honor, with hundreds of people gathering to celebrate her life and share memories of her kindness, passion, and adventurous spirit. Local news outlets covered the story extensively, highlighting both the tragedy of her death and the importance of safety in bear country. Emily's family, while devastated, expressed hope that her story would inspire others to respect the wilderness and take precautions when venturing into it. Montana Fish Wildlife Park's FUP launched an investigation into the incident. The bear responsible for the attack was located and euthanized, a decision that reignited debates about human-wildlife interactions and the challenges of coexisting with large predators. Emily Harper's tragic death is a sobering reminder of the dangers that exist in the wilderness. While such incidents are rare, they underscore the need for preparation and caution when exploring bear habitats. Key takeaways for outdoor safety: always carry bear spray. Bear spray is one of the most effective tools for deterring an aggressive bear. Practice using it before heading into the wilderness to ensure you can deploy it quickly and accurately. Make noise. Eyes. Grizzlies are less likely to attack if they are aware of your presence. Talk loudly, clap your hands, or wear a bear bell to alert wildlife as you move through dense vegetation or along trails. Emily Harper's life was a testament to the beauty of living in harmony with nature. Her love for fishing, her commitment to conservation, and her adventurous spirit inspired everyone who knew her. Though her life was tragically cut short, her memory lives on as a reminder of the joys and challenges of exploring the wild. As we honor Emily's legacy, let us also learn from her story. The wilderness is a place of wonder and beauty, but it demands respect and vigilance. By preparing thoroughly, staying informed, and following safety guidelines, we can reduce the risks of outdoor adventures and ensure that future generations can continue to enjoy the natural world safely. Emily's story is a heartbreaking loss, but it is also a call to action, a plea to cherish and protect the wilderness she loved so dearly. Let her life and her passion inspire us all to tread carefully, live fully, and embrace the beauty of the world around us. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about wildlife and safety tips, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to catch our latest updates. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.